This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Happy birthday, America. Today we celebrate our independence. I'm just jerking your chain. Happy birthday, of course, to the formation of the Illuminati, which coincidentally, of course, as everything in this world is, was formed in the year 1776, right? All we see is this America propaganda all over the place. America 250, 1776 to 2026, and all these sheeple think that today is the day that we celebrate our actual independence and our actual freedom. But the real question is, do you feel free? Well, most of these people feel free because, of course, they're a part of the American experiment. I'm sure it's a coincidence as well that Netflix is releasing a, quote, documentary, which may as well be labeled a mockumentary, called The American Experiment, or just released it, I should say, right around, of course, the time of America's birthday. But for those of you that don't know, America just happened to coincidentally coincide with the Bavarian Illuminati. Now, there's people out there that say the Illuminati is just a fake conspiracy theory that people like me make it up to get clicks and views because it became such a popular topic over there. In fact, it became so popular that Taco Bell and the mainstream media had to take the term Illuminati and turn it into a gimmick so that when people hear the term Illuminati, they're trained to automatically dismiss, roll their eyes, and think it's a giant conspiracy. But in fact, if you research it yourself, whether you use AI, whether you use encyclopedias, whatever you might use, it is factual information that on the Beltane, of course, the day of worship and sacrifice for Baal on May 1st, 1776 was in fact when the Illuminati was formed. And of course, the Declaration of Independence was adopted on July 4th of that same year. And 1776 was right in the middle of the Age of Enlightenment, and who of course calls themselves the Enlightened Ones? It just happens to be those who are members of secret societies like the Illuminati or Freemasonry or the Bull or whatever it may be, who believe they have the forbidden secret knowledge that Satan is the god of this world and that they are the ones chosen to rule among us. But of course, this stuff is all right in front of us. While the sheeple out there get their American flags and start barbecuing and thinking that they're independent, they don't realize that they're actually slaves of mind control. Because even the whole notion of barbecuing on the 4th of July has been ingrained into you through commercials, television shows, movies, propaganda. And that's what everybody goes and does because repetition is the key to mind control. So all of these Americans have plans to celebrate the 4th one way or the other, drinking beers and getting with their friends and wearing their Patriot shirts, all unaware that they're a part of the great American experiment, which is nothing more than a mass mind control experiment. In fact, the back of the dollar bill should summarize all of these things very well for anybody who doesn't know. The pyramid, of course, which is associated with the term Illuminati, that has that capstone with the all-seeing eye, the same one that you see celebrities constantly do where they hold up an hand over their eye or their hair over their eye or anything they can find over their eye telling you that they're a part of the club. Well, most people don't even realize right on the back of the dollar bill, not only do you see this pyramid with the all-seeing eye, but you also see the term Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means New Order of the Ages, which might as well just say New World Order, which was formed in the year 1776. But most people don't realize this because they're a part of what they call the American experiment. But the reality of the matter is it's really the American mind control experiment. Things like the Statue of Liberty that they show you over and over and over, and you have no idea what this is, and you look at it and you say, that's America, the Statue of Liberty, right? Even there at the Statue of Liberty, which is really a giant statue of Ishtar, the goddess of Babylon. And that's why many, including myself, believe that America is really Mystery Babylon referenced in the Bible, because you don't see America referenced anywhere in Scripture, even though the majority of Americans believe that we, America, are God's country, that nationalism and patriotism somehow tie into God, and the mass genocide that America commits on babies and individual civilians around the earth is all just, well, it's something that we don't have to pay attention to because we're God's chosen people, right? All part of the American experiment. In fact, even the Statue of Liberty itself, which was created by Freemasons, shows you that it was created by Freemasons, because if you visit the statue of Liberty, you'll even see the Freemasonic compass right at the bottom, as they tell you the cornerstone of the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty was brought to you by the Grand Master of Masons. And America, again, Mystery Babylon, surrounded by monuments that tell us, in fact, who America truly is. The Washington Monument, another artifact that we're told, wow, the Washington Monument, this giant obelisk, which is really Baal's shaft, because that's what the obelisk is. It's phallus worship. Most people don't know it's 666 inches wide and 6,660 inches tall. I'm sure that's coincidental, right? We even had the Georgia Guidestones, if it wasn't obvious enough about what the master plan is here in America, sitting in our country for years and years and years before, of course, they demolished them themselves, pretending, of course, that it was conspiracy nuts like me and you who went and blew them up. But no, they blew up the Georgia Guidestones because there was a waiting time capsule underneath for them that had instructions for what the next phase of our enslavement actually was. And this goes back from all the presidents, from Abraham Lincoln to George Washington, the very first supposed president who was a Freemason, all the way to guys like Harry Truman, right? Who told us that although he held the highest civil honor in the world, which is president, he's always regarded his rank and title as a past Grand Master of Masons, the greatest honor that had ever come to him, which by definition is treason, that he held his highest regard for his honor and rank as a Freemason over being the president of the United States. And of course, Harry Truman left his legacy, which we see to this day in regards to the state of Israel, because Harry Truman was the first world leader to officially recognize the state of Israel, which was created, of course, as an industrial military complex to carry out the plots of the wicked under the guise, of course, of you can't question the people who are doing it because they've been victims their entire lives. But this, as everything else in America, is all scripted out. As Albert Pike told us, the Third World War, which we're starting to witness as we speak, must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the age and tour of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens, obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries, will exterminate those destroyers of civilization, and the multitude disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. And that is documented from Albert Pike, because the wars that we see from World War I to World War II to the coming World War III, which some believe we're actually already in, are all scripted out, as is everything here in America, including the news. And what better way to celebrate our non-Independence Day and the birth of the Illuminati, which still exists, because, of course, all it takes is for somebody to look up the Illuminati and see that it was created and founded in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt. All it takes for them to do is just search and look on their own. And once they see that, what they'll see is, oh, well, it also says that it was disbanded, that it no longer exists. And they're dumb enough to believe that, right? Because all they have to do, just like the little boxes they put under YouTube videos, to say, well, that might be true that they were created in 1776, but they're not around anymore, right? And all the sheeple will say, yeah, they're not here anymore because that little box from Wikipedia tells me so, right? But what people really should pay attention to today, instead of waving their flags and listening to their cringy American propaganda music, is take a listen or a look at the covenant of the Illuminati. Whether you believe this covenant was actually written by them or not, it is filled with nothing but truth.